Many of you will have noticed that Sam Harris showed up in lots of places. He was trending on Twitter for some stuff that he said, and weirdly enough, from my perspective, what he said was about me. And, well, I didn't like it all that much. So the question is what to do about it. And I didn't mention it last week in part because I, did need a little process, and it was going to take longer than pulling over to the side of the road to get past that process in order to do anything reasonable with this. But I don't know how we ended up here. From my perspective, and I understand that there are, in some sense, two planets. There's what I think is planet reality, right? And on planet reality, I believe Sam Harris has been wrong about just about everything related to COVID. And you and I have not been right from the beginning, but we rapidly got righter and righter. Every place we got something wrong, we fixed it, and we now have a set of positions that, as strange and remarkable as they are, do appear to be borne out by the evidence and are very robust. Okay? Things happen. COVID was complex. Guy got some stuff wrong. What I don't understand is why he's on the offensive, right? Why is he taking a victory lap? Why is he torturing logic in order to rescue his rightness from the evidence? None of that makes any sense. And at some level, I guess he's entitled to do that. But what he's not entitled to do, and look, Sam, among other things, is a moral philosopher. And my claim is going to be that Sam is not entitled to be taking a victory lap where he has been wrong and making the arguments that he's making if he is not also willing to make those arguments to me so that we can pressure test them. Now, I will say there is one aspect of this. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to feel relieved that he's attacking me and not both of us, right? Like, I don't want him attacking you. So maybe that's good. On the other hand, it does seem kind of disrespectful. But whatever the case is, it does seem to me that as a moral philosopher, Sam, you are required, if you are not going to simply take a breather and reflect on how you got stuff wrong, if you really think you got stuff right, and you think that the reasoning that explains how you got things right is robust, you don't really have the right not to talk to me about it. So either you're going to agree with that and we're going to find some way to talk, and I promise to be decent about it. I'm not going to pull any punches, but I think you and I could have a conversation. We could do this IDW style. We could have you on DarkHorse, and we could talk about why you think you were right in spite of what I think the evidence says, and we could see how those arguments work out, right? That would be, in some sense, the easiest thing to do. We could have somebody else, like Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson, moderate a discussion between us. In some sense, Peterson would be a natural, since I moderated the debate between you two, right? This could be a change of chairs and we could get to some productive thing. And I think you will agree that whoever is actually right, the world would benefit from us figuring that out in a way that lots of people could understand what it is that makes that position correct, no matter what it is. That should be true. We could do that, or as a third possibility, we could, as I suggested, I think it was in June, I suggested that we use the QPark software environment, which, as far as I can tell, neutralizes every valid concern you have that would flow from us having a conversation. So you, Sam, have expressed concern, for example, that if you were to sit down with me, that I might spring some study on you that you'd never heard of or hadn't thought deeply about, and you might fumble, and that might result in people getting the wrong impression, and that, lives could be lost as a result of the fact that you didn't know what to say in the moment. And you will recall that when you made that argument, I said it was one of the few things I agreed with you about, that this is a danger and that's a problem, and so we should neutralize it. But the QPark software environment, which is still a prototype but good enough to use, completely neutralizes that concern because it is asynchronous. You could write out your argument and take as much time in doing so as you wanted, and you only, push the, I don't know if it's the publish button, but the send button on your argument when it's done. You would also be completely free to bring anybody you thought was expert along with you, so that you wouldn't be suffering from having less insight than you might in some area that wasn't your particular focus. You could bring Eric Topol, whoever you wanted. I will bring my people, and we can have this out. We can figure out what it is that we disagree on, what the evidence actually suggests is true, and what the implications are for how we should be managing the pandemic or whatever it is. So look, that's 3 options. I don't really feel like it was required that I give you 3 options, but you got 3 options on the table. And if you don't take any of those options, if you still think it's cool to be going on podcast after podcast accusing me of not being qualified to talk about things where I have been right and you have been wrong, well then, I'm going to stop being nice about this. So please, Sam, think about it. Think about it in moral terms and get back to me, because you're at the end of my patience.